2 months on YouTube and it has been a whirlwind. And I actually can't believe the difference that it's made in the past couple of months. So, just want to break down the positives and the negatives and the things that I'm seeing in myself over the past 2 months and how you might relate to it or how you might feel differently, or just a conversation of let's just not compare, but seeing how it's functioning differently for different people. So I started YouTube 2 months ago when I turned 35 and I needed something to get me out of my slump, right? Well, I say that while I'm slumping. So I knew that I wanted change. I knew that I had this thing that I wanted to put out into the universe and I wanted to share with people and create a community. And it's been life changing, to be totally honest with you. Let me go through some of the positives, right? Number one, I'm just looking down because I'm looking at my notes. I'm definitely more intentional with my time. I'm finding that I want to make time for the YouTube videos. And because of that, I'm rearranging other things so that I can make time for it. And it's also had like a domino effect on other things. I'm doing more reading, or I'm note taking. So I have like all my books that I'm like my nonfiction books. I'm trying to absorb them more deeply so that it's more of a worthwhile activity. Um, I'm reading more nonfiction. I feel like I'm uh, developing more deeply, and I know it's such a small thing, but it was like creating the YouTube channel was a catalyst. Right. Another thing is that I find that I'm more motivated. Right. So my mental health does this, right? And I experience a lot of anxiety because I have general anxiety disorder. And because of this, I get into slumps very easily. And one of the things with the YouTube channel is that I'm so motivated to try new things and do different things. And I get these like bursts of inspiration where I'm like, I need to write this down because I want to make this type of video. And although the videos aren't like fantastic quality, hopefully just now for yet, um, I'm enjoying the process of learning the new skills and trying different things. Like one of my videos this in May, this past month, was creating a meditation, which I've never done before. You know, so it's been awesome learning different skills that hopefully in maybe any other projects in the future I can use to my benefit. So with intentionality and with a motivation, I'm seeing that my creativity is like bubbling up. Um, maybe not in terms of like coloring and art and that kind of thing, but I do feel more. My brain is flowing in different ways, right? So when your brain or when your body is not in this creative flow, it's a little bit more stagnant. And I've spoken about that in one of my other videos. So the brain is sort of like, it can only do this and it can only be like this, and this is only the right way. But in reality, there's so many different ways in order to do something, and having that openness of, well, it doesn't have to be this way, it could also be this way, has been really, really interesting to see how that's like, I feel like my brain has been scrubbed um, clean, and like the cobwebs have been dusted off from my brain. So that's nice. Another thing is because I want to document so much stuff here, that I feel more inclined to do things, right? So next month I have this big project coming up, and I don't know if I would have done it if I didn't feel like I'd want to document it on YouTube. And that is so exciting. Like, you're documenting something for your life, but you're also documenting something to create a community with, people from around the world. And the space that I've been in for the past 5 years, this era that I've currently been in, I've been like, well, what's the point? Or if it's not to any benefit to anyone, why even bother doing it for myself? So that's been a nice shift to notice. So just having the inclination to do something differently has been really, really wonderful. And I mentioned skills. So the skills was one of the other ones. So the last then point is just enjoying having the space to play. Yes, the quality of my videos might not be fantastic, but I do still feel like I'm putting myself out there and having that space to play. So like I said, I'm doing journal videos, and I'm doing learning how to be intentional videos, and I'm learning how to, like, for example, create the meditations, and all of this stuff is creating that sense of play, which as adults we don't really get the opportunity to practice, or we don't feel safe to do it, or it doesn't even occur to us that we're still supposed to play as adults. So that's been really, really lovely. However, there have been some resistances that have been coming up, which I'd love to talk about. The two biggest ones is that I don't know if my ego, okay, it's definitely my ego, but I don't know where it's coming from. I stated when I first started the channel that I'm starting this channel for myself, which there's been so many benefits already. But in the same breath, like, I want to create a community where like-minded people, we can all come together in the comments and really share what's going on and how we're doing the same thing or something like this, right? Um, and there's been no real growth on the channel, and that is a very humbling experience. I have a lovely 27 subscribers as of right now, and I'm so grateful for those 27 subscribers. Thank you so much. You've given me the real boost that I needed, but um, not, you see so many channels do a direct growth, right? And obviously some channels like stay dead. Is the conversation that comes up, these like bubbles of self-doubt, or like a moment of like, why am I doing this? And I can see that although I'm having these beautiful moments of let's do this and I want to do this, no, there's another point of, at the end of the week, when I'm usually trying to make time to make the YouTube videos, I'm going, well, no one's going to watch it, so it could wait for another week. And that is where the resistance of coming in, of be like, well, what's the point of making the YouTube videos? So it's been a very interesting sort of swing that I'm noticing in myself, of this beautiful space that I've created for myself and that I'm hoping to share with other people, with those negative, ugly feelings that come up when we try something new. And hopefully this channel does, start growing bit by bit. But, even if it doesn't grow, um, that's okay. I need to be doing this not only to create the community, but also to just, further my own sense of self. And if I don't get the viewers, it's not the end of the world. That doesn't mean I should stop. And I should be creating this. It's only in 2 months. I should be creating this for at least a year before I start thinking about numbers and people and, monetizing and all that other stuff, because the monetizing and is not the end goal right now. The goal at the moment is work on myself and create the community. But number one is create the YouTube channel to work on myself. So that's the one. And then the final one that connects to the ego is a feeling of shame, which I've already spoken about on the channel before, of why and how and where shame pops up. And I'm feeling this again, this, like I did in my video, this like sense of, I want to hide because, you know, my videos aren't that great quality, and I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to do the best that I can do. And it's the conversation of, where is the shame coming from? How am I going to deal with it? Is it serving me? No. So how can we shift that conversation to something more positive, or something at least a little bit more helpful? So if there's anything that you take away from this video, is that there's a whirlwind of emotions when starting a YouTube channel, both positive and maybe negative. And let me know in the comments if you've experienced something similar. Maybe your channel has completely shot up. Well done to you, and you're doing really, really well. If you do, then, some advice would be great. I'd love to learn and continue growing on myself and on this channel as well. And if you've experienced any negative emotions, how are you dealing with that? That would be really nice to know, just so that we can have a chat about it. Anyway, otherwise, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.